I'm Dean, I'm the dad.
I'm Laura, I'm the mom.
And I'm Krysta, and I'm the daughter.
And together we are
Family
Plot. Well, that worked out so nicely. And I already like the waves I see on screen. They look better.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing it from over here too.
We're working on our sound quality today, so if you're wondering what that's all about, that's what we're discussing.
Exactly. So, do y'all remember what we're gathered here to talk about today? And it's not to dig through this thing called life. One, that's a Prince thing, and, we'd get sued. And two, it's not
something about a manuscript?
The Voynich Manuscript. Yes, very much so. Now, before we get into that...
Bless you.
Very much, bless you. We have some other things to talk about. Remember, those that listen, Halloween is coming up, the month of October, and we've got 4 weeks of some of the scariest stuff I could figure out how to do coming up in October. But we would like to intersperse that with your stories. So if you can send us some of your scary, ghostly, heck, even cool stories, just... as long as it's got a kind of a spooky edge to it, that's what we want. So send that to us. Also, remember, you can always check out our Patreon and support us that way. Patreon. I said it wrong again. One of these days I'll know how to say that right the first time.
Gosh, I hope so.
Yeah.
And then I also want to cover, give us your rates and reviews. It just moves us up the list on the charts. Mm-hmm. Really, iTunes is about the way that most people review us, but we'll take Podchaser or whatever. Just give us a good review. It moves us up the charts. It makes us more noticeable, makes it easier for people to find us. So
right.
That is what we want. Now, the Voynich Manuscript is a mysterious tome. I call it a tome, book, whatever, in a code that's never been solved, dating back to the 14th century. And it's filled with these curious hand-drawn illustrations. Now, let me set the scene for you a little better than that. In the early days, when it was just Krysta and I, we had done maybe 5 episodes. I dumbly said, hey, if there's any topics you want us to cover, let me know. And some certifiable psychopath out for our blood said, hey, why don't you do a show on the Voynich Manuscript? Now, I had just heard Forrest and Scott talking about the Voynich Manuscript a few weeks earlier, and they did multiple hours, might even done multiple episodes on it. I don't remember.
They have a tendency to do that, so it wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Yeah.
And so the idea of tackling something I had never heard of before Forrest and Scott got a hold of it, and trying to do a show about it, I would have rather tried to pet a live cobra.
I can see that.
So I resisted, and finally someone else said, why don't you do the Voynich Manuscript? Probably a friend of the original psychopath, also out for our blood.
Well, yeah.
And I was like, you know what? If they've asked twice, maybe they actually want to know. So I did a bit of a deep dive into it, as deep a dive as I dared. Like I want to do from now on. I want to cover my sources. I started, as I always do, with Wikipedia. I vetted as much of what I found on Wikipedia as I could. I watched a documentary called Voynich. It's on Prime. Cannot for the life of me remember his name. The Voynich Manuscript. If you look that on Prime, you'll find it. I watched that. I watched Dr. Cat in the Voynich Manuscript, which was a YouTube series of a gal that apparently covers books. and rare books, and this one is pretty unique.
I see.
Yes. So to do it properly, and so I'm not talking the whole time by myself, because this is like deep scholarly stuff.
Oh yeah, I was searching through the notes. I'm like, how many pages and how many letters are there in this?
22 pages of notes is what we have.
Oh
22.
my goodness.
He's trying to kill us. He
no.
didn't want to be the only blood in the water, you see.
So, again, how do we cover this? Well, we go back in time. Oh my, that's a dinosaur. We went too far back. Let's go forward a little bit.
I mean, Jackie wouldn't have mind, but
Yeah.
she's not here right now, so I can't really...
So, Wilfred Voynich is a Polish/American book dealer, and he's looking for rare books
Okay.
in 1912. He's in Poland. He's visiting the Jesuit scholars.
Ooh, what is that?
They are people that are deeply religious, and they study a myriad of topics, lots of different things. And so they tend to collect books. Now, some of them are sacred to them, and they won't let them be seen. But others, they're willing to sell or whatever once they've got the use out of them that they need. And so he was hoping to find some rare books in their trove, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so they bring him a selection of books that had once been in the library of a very smart man, and by the name of, and I'm probably going to mispronounce this, so I apologize, Althanius Kircher.
Mm-hmm.
What a name.
It's a heck of a name. Anyway, so this book, he picks it up, and he's looking at it, and it's 240 pages. Some of them with drawings so big that you have to fold out the page kind of like a centerfold.
Mm-hmm.
Except the drawings are rarely of naked people. There are definitely drawings of naked people, and they're usually in baths, and the baths are connected by these weird pipes. But it's all hand-drawn.
Hmm.
And it's all done in a coded language that nobody has been able to break.
Oh, isn't it?
So,
So it's like me with a Sudoku puzzle.
that's what we're getting into. So, I hope you read your notes so that you can jump in every now and again, because this is a huge topic for me. It's so scholarly. I much prefer dealing with ghost stories, because then it's just a matter of how much do I believe the person telling the story. Whereas in this, this contains facts, and I gotta get them right, or else people will go, "You didn't get that right."
Well, how?
How would they know? They're the ones that...
Okay, you have just spent the last 15 minutes of our lives telling us how no one has decoded the code in this book. So how are there facts about the book that no one can read? I don't...
Because there are things...
There's history behind books.
There are things we know about the book, and we will get into that. But first, before we get any further, we have a Krysta here who specializes in weird facts.
Yes, I did.
Just not weird books.
Yeah, no, I can't.
So what I would like to do is turn it over to our Krysta, let her do her weird facts, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the discovery of the book and what we actually know about it, and we'll go from there.
Right.
Okay. Very good, Krysta. I like you so much.
Oh, I know.
I'm so glad I'm your dad.
Oh, thank you.
You're doing great, Mike.
Yeah, so, Krysta's weird facts.
Oh, no. No.
Well, nice to have running commentary. Maybe I'll put out 2 versions of the show. The one with her commentary and one without. It'll be like the DVD director's commentary.
It could be the first Patreon episode.
Oh my god, yes.
With little Lexi commentary.
Okay. Krysta? And now, Krysta, take it away.
Alright, so today's wonderful stuff came from... Drum roll, please. History.
For a second, I thought she was going to say history goes bump.
No, just history. I think it was... Yeah, no, something like that. By Evan Andrews. Yay,
Okay.
Evan. Thank you.
Evan, for all your
Thank
hard
you,
work.
Evan, for doing this.
Thank you, Evan.
Now, Dad should know most of these. I would assume he would.
Okay.
Cleopatra was not Egyptian.
She was Sumerian or something, wasn't she?
She was...
Or for me?
She was born in Alexandria. So what?
She was what? Greek?
Yeah, he might have been Greek at that point in time, but...
I'm so confused. Geography is just, one step above math in my roundhouse of knowledge.
Oh, God.
The thing is, the lighthouse at Alexandria, or not the lighthouse, the library at Alexandria, I want to say it was a Greek thing, but boy, you get back at a certain point in history and I become really sort of, I don't know, I don't want to say too much, I'm not the expert I would like to be. But I do know that the library at Alexandria, we lost so much there, we have no idea what they might have known and what they didn't. But yeah, I think that's right. I think she was not Egyptian. I think she was Greek, because I think that's when the Greeks were kind of supporting.
Greek. She was Greek.
Okay.
It says here that Cleopatra was actually a part of a long line of Greek. So yes, she is Greek.
Opa more.
Number 2. Oh, also, I forgot to say this. Today's
Weird facts
Weird facts.
are about Egypt.
Well, yes, they're about Egypt, but yeah, that's another one. They're about Egypt. And number 2 is today is +1 edition.
Yay!
So enjoy them.
Are we gonna, this is like the 3rd week in a row of +1 edition.
Yeah.
Are we gonna just go all out +1s and go to 6 weird facts because
No,
you want a bigger piece of the pie?
I don't think that we need to do that. I think Krysta, when she wants to bring +1 is great. But there are weeks it's going to be rougher for her. Like, she's got a heavy school week or something, that 5 is going to be fine.
Okay.
So I think we stick with 5
I
and
got all
then,
excited. I thought she was trying to take a bigger piece of her pie.
Well, yes, these last few episodes I have been trying to take a bigger piece of my pie. However, I do not want to go full on, just in case I decide to make any changes towards what I want to do.
Fair enough.
Number 2. The ancient Egyptians forged one of the earliest peace treaties on record.
Fancy.
very fancy.
Number 3. I like this one. This one's kind of wholesome, not gonna lie.
Aye.
Wholesome is good.